Oh shit. Time for aeronautical violence. Alright, welcome. Today we're going to be doing survivability in the A-10. Now, I've already done complete Russian IADs. I've done a video on the tour exactly. So there are some things that are going to be a little bit of a repeat, but by and large, this video is going to be how to not die in the A-10. So, contrary to popular belief, the A-10 is not a flying tank. It cannot take, you know, 1,000,000 rounds and still fly. What the A-10 excels at is keeping its pilot alive. Now, not dying, like not being shot down and keeping the pilot alive, are two separate things. The best way to not die in the A-10 is to not get shot. The best way to not get shot is to not get shot at. So that's primarily what this video is going to be covering the most of. So up ahead at waypoints 3 and 2 over there is an SA-11 and an SA-10. By and large, the double-digit SAMs are more deadly versions of their single-digit SAMs. So we're going to be skipping things like the SA-8 and the SA-6, because if you can take an SA-11, you can take an SA-6, and if you can take an SA-15, you can take an SA-8. And if that all sounds like gibberish to you, then you got to study up on your SAM codes. A lot of it's going to be knowing what can and can't hurt you at various ranges. Anyway, today I am drinking, if I looked on my right thigh, because that's where I put my bourbon, today I'm drinking Old Elk Wheated. It's a fantastic bourbon. It is wheated as advertised. I bought this specific bottle in San Diego from Costco when I was out there visiting my cousin. Well, I was out there for work actually, but she lives in San Diego, and so I got to see her at the same time, which is awesome when that works out like that. And it's a Costco store barrel pick of Old Elk Wheated, which is awesome. It's quite good. So, as for the 10 and 11, they're really not so bad by themselves. The problem is they typically go and stagger them with AAA and man pads and the like. Okay, so I've just been launched on by that 10, so let's turn the jammer on and see if we can break that lock. Oh god, you can see it. That's what the Viper boys call seeing the elephant. I don't know. That might get me. Let's find out. I'm not gonna take evasive action on this. I want to see if the jammer can just save my life here. That's not looking good. Oops, wrong button. Big yikes, man. Tell you what, let's pop some chaff and see if I can spoof this missile here. No, it's still tracking pretty good. Oh, well. It got away from me. That's interesting. I wonder if the jammer did that. Well, let's turn the jammer off. Have it launch at me again. Getting ahead of myself here. I've got more things to talk about, but I got launched on earlier than I thought I would, so fuck it, we'll do it live. It's my favorite thing to do. Let's see if this second missile is going to get me here. Oh, that was the first missile. The second missile looks like a broke lock. Anyway, so let's start talking about things. I'm looking at my notes down here. So as for the different modes here, I used to keep this puppy in manual. Semi works just as well. If you use Semi, it'll automatically pick your jamming program for you, which is kind of handy. It'll automatically pick your jamming program for you if you are locked onto by a hostile SAM system that has something that's going to actively emit, like a radar. The jammer, I'll be real with you guys. The jammer is probably the most classified thing in DCS, and as such, its modeling is quite simplistic. So, as I understand it, FBI, please don't come to my house if I'm saying something classified right now, because I don't have a top secret clearance or anything like that. As I understand it, the real-life jammer performs way better than the jammer in DCS. It's able to do all sorts of really cool things, like spoof your position and break locks and do crap like that. But in DCS, all I think it does is reduce the direction or the distance from which you can be locked onto. And that's pretty much it. So half the time I'm flying, I don't even take a fucking jammer with me because, like I was saying, the best way to not die is to not get shot at in the first place. So as soon as I'm launched on, before I even get into the AO of where I know there's going to be some sort of, oh, wrong button, some sort of SAM like this, I'm going to merely, he's over there somewhere. Let's see if I can find him. Oh, there he is. God, the flare is so bad. I'll drop a mark point on that guy. I'm going to hit the dirt so he can't lock onto me in the first place. The larger, longer range SAMs have a very serious problem keeping a lock with altitude. In fact, most radar-guided missiles have a problem keeping a lock on you with altitude. Only the SA-8 and the SA-15 are really able to keep that on you until you're down below like 30 feet, which is really fucking low. So as you can see, I just turn my hammocks on. As you can see, it just switched to SAM 2. So now that I've been launched on, we'll go ahead and just begin a lazy dive. That missile's not going to get there. Let's see. Whew, look how fast that missile is. Jesus Christ. 3,000 knots. That's pretty fast. But I am going to get to the ground before it can get to me. So, 2,000 feet radar altimeter.
Pull up.
1,500 feet. 1,000 feet. 500 feet.
Altitude.
400
Pull up,
feet.
Pull up.
Whoo! No, he still got me. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't use the actual countermeasures programs, though. I merely use aft for chaff and forward for flares. I just pop them myself because that's how I prefer to do things. But I'm popping a bunch of chaff right now. Let's see if that missile gets me. It's over there somewhere. You're not going to see it coming. I can promise you that. Dumping tons of chaff right now. Oh, God. Oh, that's scary. Oh! Oh! Yeah, well, there goes a wing. So, anyway, in a situation like this, where you have lost both of your wings, your best bet is to input forward control stick to try and arrest the spinning. Use rudder to get yourself into a nice glide, and then scream and eject. I skipped the scream part. Oh, God, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I'm dead. Well, so there's that. All right, let's try this again. Well, this time I'll be a little more aggressive with my maneuvering. Anyway, your best bet against an SA-10, especially if you know it's not defended by anything, is going to be to come in low and shoot its radar, and then it can't hurt you anymore. The 11, now, as I understand it, the 11 actually is able to hurt you, even if you... Let's see... There, it's over here. The 11 is able to hurt you, even if you blow up its radar. And we're going to test that, because I want to see that in action. There it is. Mark point. So we'll take out the radar on the 10, test some ranges out on it. Then we'll take out the radar, the track radar on the 11, test some ranges out on it, and see if it can really still get me even if I blow up its radar, because the 11 allegedly has track radars on all of its launchers, which is pretty fucking scary. So we'll try that out. In the meantime, some other things to talk about. Look at my notes here. Oh, yes, that's something to talk about. The 10 is able to shoot down your missiles, and I think the 11 is as well, but not so much your bombs. I'll get into that a little later in the video, but in the meantime, let's get this 10 to open up on us. Though I suppose, for the time being, I can talk a little bit more about the systems of the A-10. So the A-10 You've got the jammer, you've got the radar warning receiver, which detects emitted radar energy, and you also have, it's really freaking cool, you can see them. Let's see here. Let's see. There it is. That little, I'm not sure if it's recording my mouse pointer, but the little dot on the wing there, little black dot. And there's, they're on the nose as well, somewhere. You've got them on the tail. You've got one in the back right there at the very end of the aircraft. Oh, it's launched on me. Perfect. So let's be a little more aggressive this time. Those things are actually able to detect missile plumes. And they will alert you if you've got a incoming missile by just seeing the plume of the missile. Now, the missile motor still has to be burning for it to see it. The one that's screaming at me right now is simply detecting that the radar has shifted to a tracking frequency, and that's able to alert me a missile's coming. But if those IR missiles don't, if those sensors don't track the IR missile plume, it's not going to let you know. Also, something to keep in mind is the radar warning receiver does not have 360-degree alerting of all energy. So if you can see, if I roll like this, it can't see the energy anymore. But then I come back like this. Oh shit, it's still locked onto me. It didn't lose its lock just now. It's just no radar warning receiver directly on the underside of the aircraft, which is unfortunate.
Altitude.
So let's get nice and low here. As you can see, that SA-10 is no longer able to see me anymore. So I'll probably cut out of the video the long, boring flight up to it, because it's, spoiler alert, it's not going to be able to see or do anything to me if I roll up to it like this. Oh yeah, as you can see by the one dot, if you watched my previous video, as you can see by the one dot, I'm rocking HEI ammunition for this mission because it's more realistic and more handy in environment where you know you're not going to be blowing up tanks with the gun, which is most of them, honestly. Alright, let's hit the Bourbon. I'll be right back with you in a minute when I'm a little closer to the SAM site.
Hello, darkness, my old...
Pull up.
Holy shit. Alright, so 5.5 miles. 4 miles. And I don't think this puppy is going to be able to lock onto me anymore. Turn the jammer off. Let's see if it gets me. As you know, if there were a Tor hanging out with this puppy over here, he'd be on me like stink on shit inside of like a mile. This SA-10, I think he just fucking cries about it. That's all he can do. 11's pretty pissed though. All right, time for the murder. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. Just being completely wanton with everything. So, this 10's completely dead. Nothing he can do about. Holy shit!
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Shit! Wow! God damn! Jesus Christ! All right, well, that 11 is still very, very upset with me.
Pull up.
He's gonna be out of ammunition. He keeps this shit up. Oh, that is a tree. I almost hit that tree. You ever see a man flinch in an A-10 before? Oh well. Interesting. I've never seen a pilot get killed like that. At least not in an A-10. I must have fucking taken that missile to the cockpit. Jesus Christ. Anyway, the 10 is now harmless, and to prove it, I'll respawn. And you will be able to see that 10 is not going to bother me anymore. It's going to be just the 11. So let's roll up on that 11, see what kind of magic we can do with it.
Pull up.
This really is a job for a pointy boy. Don't tell Mark I said that.
Altitude.
No, he can definitely see me. Yeah, missiles don't work so good against trees, do they? Oh, wow, look at all those smoke trails. They are salty. Well, like I was talking about earlier in the video, train masking is your best friend. Fighting in the desert fucking sucks in the
Pull up,
A-10 because
pull
you have
up.
nothing to hide behind, but when you got nice big old hills and trees like this to mask your approach, it's honestly a cakewalk. Like I said, the only problem you're
Pull
really
up,
going to
pull
have
up.
is if they stack man pads and shilkas and other nasty little surprises for you. But if you're
Pull
doing your
up,
job
pull
right
up.
with the targeting pod, then you shouldn't have any surprises. Know what your vehicles look like, know what your threats look like, know what they look like for the targeting pod, and just don't get caught with your pants down. By the way, the BB, the Big Bird, that's the search radar for the SA-10, but I blew up the track radar, so it can't really hurt me. And the SD, the Snowdrift, that's the SA-11. The SA-11... where did I put the goddamn thing? The SA-11 search radar, which... I think I flew right by him, but we're so close now, he can't really hurt me. Oh, is that him? No, where'd he fucking go? Oh, there he is. Alright, so let's take a look here and figure out which one of these guys is the track radar. That looks like the search radar to me. That's probably the track radar. But let's verify that. Search radar. Well, you know what? Oh, and there, that's probably the track radar. Gadfly, Fire Dome, track radar. Okay, and this is the search radar. So let's blow up that search radar with surgical precision. And then we'll see if that SA-11 can still shoot me after I blow up its fucking radar. Let's see. And...
Pull up, pull up.
Boop. Nope.
Altitude,
Come on.
altitude.
Well, that is indeed the search radar, but it is still alive. At least we verified it.
Altitude, altitude.
Now it's dead. Okay, so search
up,
radar's
pull
dead.
up.
Let's see if the SA-11 can hit me anyway. Away we go. Oh, there we go. 11 just came alive. That's the track radar. Oh, yeah, there it is. Motherfucker found me, and it launched. Where's the elephant? Oh, there it goes. Let's see if I can get out of this. Probably not. Nope, I'm dead. Alright. How much airframe do I have left? I'm missing that wing. I'm missing that wing. Alright. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Gonna hurl. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Oh, well. Lost one of my engines there. Yeah, let's get out. Nah, I'm just dead. Anyway, so that covers radar-guided SAMs. Real quick recap. SA-11 can still get you if you take a search radar out. Their min altitudes are pretty high, and their min ranges are pretty far. So all you have to do is stay low, get up close, and then they're easy pickings. Cluster bombs work especially well. So let's talk about something a little nastier. So there is a shilka right there in the middle of the runway of Batumi. And shilkas, especially the radar-guided variety, are particularly nasty. And in order to defeat them, you have to do what's called 3D maneuvering. Now, you would be 1D if you flew in a straight line. You would be 2D if you changed your acceleration and turned. And you would be 3D if you changed your acceleration, turned, and climbed and descended all at the same time. That's what we mean by 3D maneuvering. And if we could just get this goddamn shilka's attention so he'd shoot at us, that would be swell. There's a man pad over there, too. That's going to be next on our agenda. And there's also a Tunguska over there as well, which is going to be the final thing we talk about because they're real fucking nasty. Yoo-hoo, Shilka. This guy's drunk on vodka, asleep in his fucking tank. Wake up! At least drink the good stuff. Drink bourbon like me. Come on. Come on, Pavlov. Ivchenko. Vladimir, whatever your name is. There we go. So, turn the jammer on. Now, the nice thing about it is you can see the bullets coming, and all you have to do is move a little bit, and they oh, Jesus Christ, what is that? Oh, there's the man pads. And I spoofed the man pads. Look at that. So we'll talk about man pads in a second, but that was really lucky. And the radar warning receiver literally saved my life. I'm sorry, the missile warning receiver that detects the plumes saved my life. And there's more of them. Ooh, that was spicy. So I'm not even cooling my engines off. If you just dump those flares as fast as you can, it's probably detecting the old missiles. Yeah, it is. If you dump those flares as fast as you can, they're going to have a hard time getting you. Oh, Jesus. Well, that one still got me. I was putting my bourbon down. That wasn't fair. Let's see. What am I got? I got A-wing. Can I salvage this? Nope. All right. As you can see, the A-10's not an invincible tank that can fly missing a wing. No aircraft can fly missing a wing, and anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to your fucking face. Anyway, that Shilka should be good and mad at us now, so let's stay away from those man pads. Now, the best thing to do with a Shilka is to simply take it out with a Maverick or an APKWS, because you vastly, vastly, vastly outrange it. But if for some reason you absolutely have to shoot a freaking Shilka with your gun, and you have to get in close to it to do so, it can be done, and I'm going to demonstrate that. But first, I'm going to wait till it's mad at me. Come on, boy. Come on, Vasily. There we go. All right. Now, again, if you can see the shots coming, it's better. So, nope. Like Neo in the Matrix, dodging bullets. Wait for it. No, sir. Nope. That was a really short burst, so either I've gone out of range of him or he's out of ammunition and he's reloading. Hey, fun fact about the Shilka. Their genius Soviet design was really, really prone to overheating. I heard somewhere once that if you shoot a Shilka's guns, its quad-barrel guns, for an extended period of time, it'll actually overheat the barrels to the point where the ammunition will start to cook off. And since it's an automatic feeding mechanism, you can start to shoot it, but you won't be able to stop shooting it until it's out of ammunition. So that's kind of funny. Or it overheats and jams. So let's see if I can just get this guy before he can shoot me. And fuck you, sir. Oh, he's shooting too, so let's get out of the way of those bullets. And I missed him, because of course I did. No, you don't. So as you can see, I just keep changing direction and changing altitudes, and he's not able to hit me. If you've ever played Combined Arms or ever shot at something in the air in a video game, you know how hard it is to hit a target that's maneuvering like I am. So, he's still very much locked onto me. No, you don't, sir. Ah, God, man. Oh, took him out. There you go. So, I jousted with the Shilka and I won. Now, as for man pads, let me show you your best bet against man pads. I like to call it altitude. Man pads can't really get you above 12 to 14,000 feet. So, you just get high enough and you are home free, my friend. Let's see, where are those little man pads out? Well, that's okay. Let's get down there and get shot at. And we'll go over avoiding infrared guided missiles. Now, the sucky thing about infrared guided missiles is if you get shot at by one and you don't get warned it's coming, you're probably going to die because you're not going to take any steps to evade it or countermeasure it or spoof it or defend against it, and you're probably just going to take it. Like I said, the good thing is the A-10 can detect missile plumes and will alert you of incoming missiles. Well, anyway, if you are alerted to a man pad launch on you, what I want you to do is a bunch of things without thinking. First things first, throttle idle, cool your engines off. Look at those temperatures dropping like that. Makes the missiles harder to see. Second, you carry a butt ton of flares in the A-10. Dump them. Just start dumping flares like your life depends on it. And then last but not least, look for where you think it came from, hit coolie hat down, and then just drop a mark point wherever, drop a mark point wherever you think it came from. And that way you can come back and once you've evaded the missile, find the man-pad, and kill it before it can shoot at you again. So, last but certainly not least, let's talk about Tunguskas. Now, Tunguskas are a combination of self-propelled anti-aircraft artillery and a SACLOS guided missile, which is like radio command guidance. Now, the shitty thing about SACLOS is there's nothing you can do to spoof it. There's no nothing emitted. There's no radar emitted from it. There's no tracking kind of anything. There's no heat signature. It's literally a guy aiming the missile at you manually and commanding it like it's a remote control, basically. So that really sucks, because there's really no way to know that missile's coming unless you get the regular missile warning receiver from the plume, but it's long enough, it's far enough away that once it is launched on you, there's a very high chance that you're not going to know it's coming, and you're not going to be able to see it because the missile is just flying through the air without a missile plume behind it. So that kind of sucks. The good news is the missile's hard to control and not especially good at turning. So if you know you've been shot at by a Tunguska, you keep up with the 3D maneuvering. Oh, there it is. You can probably... There it is, see? Now, if I just turn a little bit, I can probably defeat this missile. Because the missile's not very, very, very agile. But the trick is you have to move in the first place to... It's launched at me again. If I keep moving, he probably will have a hard time hitting me with that missile. But if you're flying in a straight line, you're probably going to have a bad time. So if this were a real engagement, I would fly away and I would come at him with a Maverick. But since we're being stupid right now, let's go ahead and see if we can take him with a gun. Oh, that one's not going to get me. So we're going to pop up over this ridge. I'm going to tell you right now. We're going to pop up over this ridge.
Altitude.
And he's going to open up with his gun. So this is going to be a duel of the fates here. So let's see if we can get this cocksucker.
Altitude. Altitude.
Bonjour.
Pull up. Pull up.
Oof.
Altitude. Altitude.
Nope. I damaged him, but he killed me. Yeah, Tunguskas are pretty nasty. So, anyway, that's basically it for not dying. Oh, no, there's some things I still haven't covered yet. So, all right. One thing to cover real fast. If you get an engine and it's degraded, like your engine's like maybe stuck at like that much power and you don't know why, you can't get it any higher because it's damaged, you can come down here and go to the the engine fuel flow and set it to override, and you can squeak out a little more power out of the engine. Just be advised, when you do that, when you pull the power to idle, it's probably going to flame your engine out and you're not going to be able to put it back on again. So that's like an emergency power type deal. As far as engine fires go, you have to pull the handle and flip the switch to put out the engine fire. I would recommend starting the APU whenever you lose an engine. It's the same thing you do in an airliner, just in case you have an extra source of power. And as far as structural damage to the A-10 goes, you actually can fly it decently well. But remember, the A-10 wasn't designed to, you know, keep flying and kill things while, you know, it's missing a wing and half a tail. What it was designed to do was keep flying long enough to get you to a safe place to eject while it's missing a wing and a tail. So anyway, that's survivability in the A-10. As you can see, it's a very, very dangerous and hostile world out there. And stay safe, friends. Thanks for watching. And that's all I've got for you. Bye.